Linda and An Mei are project managers dealing with the exact same messy week. Both of them are certified professionals, but while Linda is overwhelmed by late deliverables and missed emails, An Mei handles the chaos without breaking a sweat. The gap between them has nothing to do with their technical training or their intelligence. The difference is their ingrained habits of organization and communication. When you rely on memory and conscious willpower to manage your tasks, you create a fragile system. You are actively draining your mental energy throughout the day, applying tension until your focus and patience finally break under the pressure. To achieve calm control over your workload, you need to abandon sheer willpower. Instead, we are going to use a specific 4-part habit blueprint designed to make capturing your tasks a completely involuntary reflex. This Blink framework is divided into 4 specific quadrants to build your habit. Step 1 is the behavior. Define a specific, actionable micro-routine. A broad goal like improve time management is impossible. Instead, isolate a single action, like choosing to carry a pocket notebook. Before writing this down, verify if you have a skill gap or a habit gap. A skill gap requires active learning to understand how to do something. A habit gap means you already know how to complete the task, but you need to automate the action so it happens without conscious effort. Look at these hands resting on a keyboard. Memorizing the layout of the 10 keypad is a learned skill, but automatically reaching for that number pad without thinking about it, that is the habit. Now we move to the second step of the blueprint. Even the simplest behaviors will fail if your physical surroundings introduce friction. We solve this through environmental engineering. By placing the physical objects exactly where you will use them, you increase the likelihood of performing the behavior. You need to define the exact location where your capture tool will live. If you decide to carry a notebook, you mandate that it stays specifically in your right pocket, guaranteeing you always have access to it. By taking a simplified behavior and placing it in a frictionless environment, you completely remove the physical barriers to automation. Step 3 is identifying the trigger, the specific activator that prompts your new habit to begin. You want to avoid using unpredictable situations or internal feelings as your activator. Deciding you will write things down when you feel busy forces you to rely on the exact willpower you are trying to replace. To fix this, create a strict if-then statement. Link your behavior directly to a predictable event that already occurs naturally in your routine. You document this activator in the 3rd section of your framework. For example, setting a rule that whenever you receive an actionable email, you immediately pull out your notebook. A perfectly designed trigger shifts the burden of action away from conscious choice, transforming the task into an automatic reflex. The final section of the blueprint addresses the primary reason new routines fail. Often, the most valuable habits do not offer any immediate, visible benefits. If you run on a treadmill, it might be months before you see a tangible change. When an activity has a delayed payoff compared to immediate sensory feedback, your persistence will naturally drop without immediate proof of progress. You have to engineer artificial, immediate feedback for your capturing habit. Your brain requires a reward to cement the routine. You finish your blueprint by defining a specific visual tracking mechanism. This could be as simple as deciding to put a check mark on your desk calendar every time you successfully capture a task. Visible feedback closes the behavioral loop. It provides the necessary psychological validation that encourages you to repeat the action day after day. Looking at your fully assembled plan, the vague desire to be more organized has been replaced by a clear, executable protocol. The ultimate threshold of success here is automaticity. This is the point at which executing your habit requires absolutely zero conscious thought. You know you have reached true automaticity when skipping the behavior actually generates a feeling of physical discomfort. Think about driving a car. Putting on your seatbelt is so deeply ingrained that moving a vehicle without wearing one feels twitchy and wrong, even if you are just moving to a different parking space. Your goal is to execute your customized blueprint every single day. Practice the routine until your forward momentum takes over and failing to capture your tasks feels wrong.